Welcome, everyone, to VPOD.ai. I'm Mike.
And I'm Susan.
You can sponsor this podcast for just $25. Your message will be featured across major platforms like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and more. If you're interested, visit VPOD.ai to get started today. Okay, I have to be honest. When I saw the topic for today, my mind went to this very specific kind of depressing place. You say soup, and I just picture that watery stuff from a can you eat when you're sick.
Right. Or the tiny little cup you get before the real meal arrives.
Exactly. The sad desk lunch. It's never the star of the show.
It's usually the prelude or, the backup plan.
But looking at what we're going through today, I think my entire worldview on this is about to get flipped upside down. We are not talking about appetizers here.
No.
We're talking about 15 incredible high-protein recipes that are actually hearty enough to be the entire meal.
And that's really the mission here, isn't it? It's about solving a problem. How do you get that cozy, warm, comfort food feeling?
Yeah, that winter feeling.
But without sacrificing the nutrition. Specifically, we're looking at recipes that all hit a really specific target. Over 20 grams of protein per serving.
Which is substantial. I mean, usually if I have soup for lunch, I am rating the vending machine by 2.3.
Of course. But we're seeing protein counts here that rival a steak dinner. Protein is what drives satiety. It's the signal to your brain that says, okay, we're actually full.
So let's just jump right into the deep end, because some of these numbers honestly shocked me. The undisputed champion in this list is the Italian wedding soup.
A classic, a great one.
But the stats on this, 44 grams of protein per serving. 44. That's massive.
It is.
How do you even get that much protein into a bowl of liquid?
It's all about smart layering. If you look at how it's built, it's doing a few things at once. First, you've got these protein-packed chicken meatballs doing the heavy lifting.
Okay.
Then you have the broth itself. And finally, and this part is key for the texture, the pearl couscous.
Right. I wanted to ask about that. It specifically calls for pearl couscous.
Yeah, which is basically tiny little balls of toasted pasta.
Yeah.
It's crucial because it gives you that chew factor.
Okay.
Mastication. It signals to your brain that you're eating a meal, not just drinking a beverage.
That makes so much sense. It's psychological. You feel like you've actually had lunch.
Exactly. And biologically, 44 grams of protein is going to stabilize your blood sugar for hours. No mid-afternoon crash.
Okay, right on its heels, though, is another one that caught my eye. The healthy chicken pot pie soup.
This one is fascinating to me. It's 42 grams of protein, but what makes it stand out is the texture engineering.
Let's unpack that, because this brings us to what I'm calling the creamy hack. Usually creamy pot pie means butter, flour, heavy cream.
Right. Which is delicious, don't get me wrong, but it's a calorie bomb and a non-starter for anyone dairy-free.
So what's the hack?
It's brilliant. To get that rich, velvety texture, the recipe has you puree cauliflower and potatoes directly into the broth.
I love that. But does it taste like cauliflower? Because cauliflower can have a distinct funk.
That's a valid fear. But here's the magic. When it's boiled down, cauliflower is really fibrous, but pretty flavor neutral. The potatoes add the starch.
Okay.
So when you blend them, the potato starch thickens the liquid, the cauliflower fiber creates that creamy look, and all you taste are the pot pie seasonings. Your brain just reads it as cream.
So you're thickening it with vegetables.
Yeah.
It's gluten-free, paleo-friendly, but you still get that perfect pot pie mouthfeel.
Exactly. And we see a similar trick in the creamy white bean chicken enchilada soup.
Oh, yeah, the enchilada soup. 37 grams of protein on that one.
Right. And again, no cream. The secret ingredient there is white beans. You just blend a portion of the beans to thicken the base.
So you're getting fiber, protein, and creaminess all from the beans. Totally dairy-free.
Precisely. It's a functional ingredient. It's performing a structural role, almost like in a chowder. It feels heavy on the spoon, which, again, tricks your brain into feeling more satisfied.
It's genius.
Yeah.
It really is. Okay, so moving on from texture hacks, I want to get into some of the flavor combinations, because there were a couple where I just stopped and thought, wait, really? In a soup?
There are definitely some unexpected pairings here.
Let's talk about the weird but good category. Specifically, the slow cooker pumpkin peanut butter chicken soup.
I knew you were going to bring that one up.
I mean, come on. Pumpkin puree and peanut butter.
Yeah.
Together. With chicken. It sounds like something my toddler would invent.
It does sound a little chaotic if you're only thinking of peanut butter like, in a PB&J.
Right.
But if you think about Thai or West African cooking, that flavor profile is a staple. Think massaman curry or satay sauce.
So we're talking savory spice.
Exactly. Peanut butter is fat, salt, and nuttiness. It grounds the sweetness from the pumpkin and the heat from the cayenne. It brings this incredible richness.
And I guess it adds protein, too.
It does. It brings the soup up to 30 grams per serving. The whole thing is just warming, savory, a little bit spicy.
Okay. When you put it that way, I'm on board. You just have to get past that mental block of peanut butter is for dessert.
It's a leap of faith, but it pays off. And I noticed peanut butter makes another appearance in the golden turmeric chickpea chicken soup.
It does. That one's a powerhouse. Chickpeas, sweet potatoes, chicken, ginger, garlic, coconut milk, and that touch of peanut butter again.
And that one's hitting 33 grams of protein.
At only 381 calories, which is a really impressive ratio.
It is. That one feels like the definition of a go-to winter soup.
You know, speaking of interesting flavors, I really appreciate that this list isn't just heavy stews. There's a lot of global inspiration.
For sure.
One that stood out to me was the green chili chicken pozole.
Yes, pozole is fantastic.
Now, for anyone who hasn't had it, the star ingredient is hominy. Can we just explain what that is? It looks like giant corn.
It is corn, but it's gone through a process called nixtamalization.
Great word.
Isn't it? Dried corn kernels are soaked in an alkaline solution, which removes the hull and makes the grain puff up. It gives it this wonderful, chewy, almost dumpling-like texture.
So it's not just regular sweet corn.
No, and that process actually releases the niacin in the corn so your body can absorb it, so it's tastier and healthier.
And this recipe is a twist on that. 30 grams of protein.
It is. But the real fun with pozole is always the toppings.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to load it up, shredded cabbage for crunch, a little Greek yogurt, avocado. It becomes this whole customizable experience.
And then for people who want something maybe a little more noodle-based, there's the curry chicken noodle soup.
All right, a one-pot meal, coconut milk broth, 21 grams of protein. It's cozy, but that curry flavor just wakes everything up.
Now, we've been talking a lot about chicken, but I know we have listeners who are more plant-based. Was there anything for them that still hits these high protein numbers?
There is a really robust option, actually, the Moroccan spice stew.
Okay, talk to me about that. Hitting 20-plus grams of protein with just plants can be a challenge.
It can. This one hits 27 grams, and it's completely vegan. The strategy is protein combining. It uses both chickpeas and lentils.
Ah, why both?
Texture and nutrition. The chickpeas hold their shape and give you a bite. The lentils sort of break down and naturally thicken the broth.
And flavor-wise?
It's got butternut squash for sweetness and then cinnamon.
Cinnamon in a savory stew is such a pro move.
It adds this warmth without any sugar. It's a very sophisticated flavor.
So we've covered the protein heavyweights, the creamy hacks, the flavor bombs. But there's another angle here that I think is super relevant right now. And that's the whole food as medicine aspect.
This is so important, especially during cold and flu season.
Yeah.
What we eat plays a huge role in our immune system.
One of these is literally titled, "The Best Chicken Soup You'll Ever Eat," which is a bold claim.
It is bold, but if you look at the ingredients, you see why. It's packed with anti-inflammatories. Ginger, turmeric, garlic.
We hear about turmeric all the time. What is it actually doing?
Well, turmeric contains curcumin, which is a potent anti-inflammatory. But, and this is key, your body has a really hard time absorbing it on its own.
It just passes right through you.
Mostly. Unless you pair it with piperine, which is found in black pepper, and a little bit of fat. This recipe naturally has both. So you're not just eating the turmeric, you're actually absorbing it.
Wow. So the pepper isn't just for taste, it's an activation key.
Exactly. And then you have the ginger, which is great for settling an upset stomach.
I see another one that follows that theme. The healing ginger coconut chicken brown rice soup.
That one's lovely. You've got the ginger and turmeric again, but the brown rice adds fiber and selenium. It's 25 grams of protein, but it feels very gentle.
That's the key, right? When you're sick, you want nutrition, but you don't want something heavy.
Exactly. You want nourishment that's easy to digest.
Yeah.
And the nourishing Asian-inspired chicken soup fits that bill, too. The flavor base is lemongrass, green onion, garlic, ginger.
I feel like the steam from that soup alone would cure a sinus infection.
There's actual data on that. The warm liquid loosens mucus, and the aromatics physically open up your nasal passages. It's functional food.
Okay, so we're sold on the recipes. They sound delicious. They're high protein. But here's where the rubber meets the road. The logistics.
The meal prep.
Exactly. Who has time to make a pot of soup from scratch every night? The whole point is to make a giant batch on Sunday and eat it all week. But does it last?
That is the million-dollar question, and we've got some good rules here for storage.
So what are the numbers?
For the fridge, you're looking at up to 5 days in an airtight container.
5 days is a solid work week.
It is. Make it Sunday, you're covered through Friday lunch. For a longer term, the freezer is your friend. Good for up to 3 months.
3 months. That's huge.
It is. But, and this is a massive but, there is a golden rule of freezing soup that you cannot ignore.
Okay, lay it on us.
Do not freeze the grains.
Really?
Absolutely. If the recipe has pasta, noodles, couscous, rice, leave them out if you plan to freeze it.
What happened?
It's a texture disaster. Grains are like little sponges. They just keep absorbing liquid. When you thaw it out, you won't have soup with noodles. You'll have a block of starchy mush.
That explains a few failures in my past. I have definitely found a solid brick of expanded noodles in the Tupperware.
Happens to the best of us. The fix is simple, though. You freeze the soup base, the broth, veggies, protein. Then when you reheat it, you cook the grains fresh separately and add them to the bowl.
So you cook the pasta fresh on the day you eat it.
Exactly. It takes an extra 10 minutes, but the difference is night and day. It tastes like you just made it from scratch.
That is a pro tip. And for reheating.
Thaw in the fridge, then stovetop or microwave. But really, managing the grains is the secret. Also keep in mind those creamy soups we talked about.
The ones with cauliflower and beans.
Yes. They freeze much better than soups with actual dairy, which can separate and get grainy when you reheat it. But the vegetable purees hold their texture perfectly.
I love that. It makes meal prepping feel way less risky.
It removes the soggy noodle fear factor.
So we've unpacked a lot here. We've gone from Italian wedding soup that's basically a protein shake in a bowl.
A delicious, savory protein shake.
All right, to dairy-free hacks, to peanut butter and pumpkin soup. It's a lot of variety.
It is, and I think what stands out is that it reframes what a healthy meal looks like. It doesn't have to be a boring salad. It can be rich and creamy and comforting and still hit those high nutritional goals.
And specifically that 20-plus grams of protein mark.
Which is the anchor for all of this. That's what turns soup from a side dish into fuel.
You know, there's a bit of philosophy from Ambitious Kitchen in the notes here that I think is worth mentioning.
Yes, I saw that too.
It said, having ambition is about being brave, fueling your body, and honoring your journey.
I think that's beautiful. It's about being who you are, not who others want you to be. And in a food sense, it's about having the confidence to try the weird recipe, to prioritize fueling your body with what it actually needs.
It's empowering. Cooking your own food, especially food this good for you, is a form of self-respect.
It really is. It's an investment in your future self.
So here's the thought I want to leave you with. We talked about some really surprising ingredients. Peanut butter and soup, cauliflower as cream, blending white beans to thicken a broth.
All pantry staples.
Exactly. So my question to you is this. What other pantry staples are you ignoring right now? What could completely transform the texture or flavor of your dinner tonight?
It's a great question. Maybe it's cashews for creaminess? Or tahini?
The possibilities are endless once you stop looking at ingredients the way you're supposed to and start looking at what they can actually do.
Well said.
Thanks for walking us through all this. I'm officially hungry.
Me too. Time to fire up the stove.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Go make some soup.
Bye, everyone.